This video goes out to Billie Jean. Billie Jean, I do follow you. I subscribe to your channel. And I see a young version of me. I see someone that is in a position of management, that has an opportunity to really take all of that experience and to move yourself with a company and find yourself managing for a Fortune 500 company and making six figures very easily. I started off as a customer service representative. I always set goals. I set timelines that even though I had a job, I continued to send my resume out because that was more experience that I had. I never told my supervisor that anything they asked me to do wasn't in my job description. I volunteered to do things that fell out of my job description because I knew that if that person left in a position, they had someone that had the knowledge that they could push right into that position. So I went from a customer service rep and I gave myself 6 months. Within 6 months, if I wasn't a supervisor, I was going to leave the company. So I started off answering phone calls, and I ended up working for a company for 7 years. Seems like it's the number, my life number. I worked for the company for 7 years. I went from answering phone calls to having an office of my own, having a secretary of my own, unlimited sick days, unlimited vacation days. And when I felt that I had enough experience under my belt, I left that company, which was AAA. I continued sending my resumes out all those years, and I got an opportunity to work for Time Warner, HBO. I left a management position to go back to being a customer service representative. And they were hesitant in hiring me because I had so much management experience. I gave myself 3 months. I always say claim it. I gave myself 3 months. Within 3 months, if I wasn't a supervisor, I was going to leave. And within 3 months, I got that supervisor position. Even though I was supervising a team of about 50 people, responsible for opening up the call center, responsible for monitoring the representatives, responsible for having PowerPoint results from what we did to the supervisor. And once I got that supervisor position, I would sit with other people, such as the person that was over quality control, and I would stay after my shift, and I would work with her. Well, she ended up quitting. They had no one that had the experience but me. So I was pushed from a supervisor over a call center for home box office, whose call center was located in Chicago. And I ended up managing 3 departments. I managed over 250 employees, along with hiring temporary employees, interviewing companies that had temporary employees. And the 3 departments I managed were marketing, customer service, and independent contractors for home box office. Because I'm older and I have the experience, yes, you do have to cold talk. They do check your background as far as your Facebook, any accounts that you have online. But you have an opportunity. You're young, you're in a management position, and you have an opportunity at your age to achieve so much. Again, since I'm not a content creator, I don't have phone numbers, email addresses. Again, I do have YouTube studios, which is where all the haters want to put their comments, not realizing that they're just strangers. And the comments just show me the type of person and where they're going to go in life. I was the only female, I was the only black, and I was the only lesbian, openly lesbian. I lived between Chicago and New York. Every 3 months, I was flown out to New York. I met with nothing but presidents and vice presidents over marketing. I was privy to content that was going to be played on HBO, privy to high definition 5 years before it came out, privy to the small satellite dish, that if I could share how I managed to achieve what I did with 3 years of college, attending Columbia University here in Chicago, majoring in investigative reporting and photography, I know that you can find yourself working for a Fortune 500 company. When I left the company, it was due to me injuring myself while I was working at the company, and both companies told me at any time I wanted to return that there would be a position available for me. So I would like to share how I was able to climb my way without a college degree into positions that paid 6 figures. Back in 1999, my check every 2 weeks was after taxes, after having the maximum taken out for 401k, I was bringing home over $11,000 every 2 weeks. So if you're interested in knowing how I was able to achieve everything that I did, I will be more than willing to share with you the steps that I took. I gave out my email address. I do have YouTube studios. If you're interested, I can share the information with you. I still have connections with people at home box office. If you're willing to relocate, the headquarters is in New York, and the call center is now located in Florida. So you can contact me either YouTube Studios or through my Gmail account. But I see so much of me in you and what you can achieve with the experience that you now have as being a manager. So I hope to hear from you soon.